Hello.
Hello.
What is
Hi.
up? Yes, hi.
How
What
you
up
doing?
though? I'm
Happy Sunday.
fan freaking tastic on this wet ass Sunday in Georgia. Georgia.
It's dry over here in New York. A little
Well,
chilly. It's all good.
yeah. I mean,
It was a good
it,
day. I sweated today.
I didn't. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I kind of was. I kind of like yeah. Because yesterday I went to a brunch thing with my cousin. This Atlanta brunch food festival or whatever.
Hmm.
And so, we got the early bird, which was, nice and everything. And, we got 3 free tickets to kind of sample the food trucks that were out there. There was a bunch out there.
Hmm.
The funny thing is none of the vegan trucks had a line.
Oh,
And
okay. You're
my
funny.
cousin, right? Yeah. But here's another funny part, right? Like my cousin, we they I knew they was timeshare people just by looking at them and seeing that they had like nothing like tangible like in their little booth or whatever that you could like hold
Hmm.
with your hands.
Hmm.
So I spent really hard and got the mystery prize, and basically it was them gonna sell me a freaking timeshare, right?
That's the
But
prize?
then Right, but then like my cousin, she got like a trip for two anywhere, right? And the
Hmm.
freaking guy was talking to us, like, cause Georgia, the freaking like LGBTQ capital and stuff.
Is
So,
it? I thought San Francisco was.
well, as far as for the copper
Black
toned
community?
honey colored people,
Copper. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
The melanated people.
the melanated people, yeah. So that it's
Hmm.
like their capital or whatever. And so the dude, this is my cousin that, we're kind of we're affiliated because of my nephews and niece, right?
Hmm.
So, of course, like my other cousin Jeannie, we don't of course look alike. We grew up
Hmm.
together and stuff, been down for each other for a long time or whatever. So the dude gonna be talking to us like we a freaking couple, and I was like, wait, dude, let me stop you right there. This right here is
Hmm.
my cousin. I know we in Atlanta, but talk
Hmm.
in terms of her and her husband, okay? Because he was like, oh, where do
Hmm.
y'all like to go? And what
Hmm.
like careful, assuming shit, So.
Hmm.
And then the mimosas, oh my gosh, I'm such a lightweight. I probably didn't like have like a drink. The last time I had a drink was probably like Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And that was like coquito, so I didn't really have much of it because it had like, it has like dairy and condensed milk, and if you're not careful you could drink a lot of it. So, kind of didn't want to do
Uh,
that. So they had unlimited mimosas with a fruit with a wristband and stuff. And
okay.
I think I had like one. I had like, yeah, and they be trying to fill up your cup too. But like, no, don't fill up my cup. Just give me halfway. I told them halfway, and they still put it like over a half.
Hmm.
But it was very
I'm entertained.
interesting.
I'm like, I did not have an event for weekend.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
listening to your story.
well, luckily yesterday was really nice, but it was kind of chilly outside. I'm glad I had like wore what I wore
Hmm.
because it was real like windy and stuff, and then like yeah. I guess
Okay.
some of most like all the walking around I did still managed to get like close to 10,000, like a lot of steps yesterday with just walking around in that little
Hmm.
area. So it was,
Okay.
yeah, it was cool. The brunch, there was a few places that the chicken and waffles was good. It was a salted caramel pecan waffle.
Oh, that sounds good.
Then my cousin, she got the Oreo one and wasn't really enthused about it. I was like, well, I got the salted caramel one, and it was
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then I had the dirty fries. Those were really good too. It was like fries with like Mexican style with like steak and egg and green onions and
Mm,
green onions, regular onions, tomatoes,
you're
sour
killing me.
cream, and yeah, it was really dope. I really enjoyed it.
I bet it was. I bet it was dope.
Yeah. So man. Anyway, before we get into that, welcome everyone to the 21st episode of the Wine Fine Podcast. Today's
Mm-hmm.
episode, is it a red flag for a woman to have just one friend? Azima, before we get into our show's topic today and then we grab these comments, where can everyone
Okay.
find you?
You can find me at Azima the Only. That's Azima the Only on TikTok and Instagram. And you can find me at Ozidi Wellness and Fitness. That's Ozidi Wellness and Fitness on YouTube and Facebook. And where can we find you, Jovani?
So yeah, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube at Camp Jogo Fit. That's KampJogofit. I've been doing my live workouts on YouTube, TikTok, and IG lately because I am banned on Facebook for approximately another 16 to 17 days. I can't go live for the reasons that I'm sure they're mad because my reach is getting bigger and I'm not paying the assholes for advertisement.
It
Anyway,
could be that. It could be that.
yeah, so there's a little bit of that, but whatever.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
yeah, before we get into the show's topic, let's grab these comments. What's up, everyone?
Hi, everybody.
So we got our first comment from Ja Smokey.
Just
Jovani,
Smokey.
you're very pretty. I'll suck your toes.
Thank you.
Okay.
You look like a nice soft pecan caramel waffle. Yeah, I'm Mexican myself. I can make all that for you.
All right.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm glad he's no longer in the room. Thank you. I was like, there must be. And what I was thinking earlier? I was like, there's some weirdo tendencies about me because there's been a lot of them coming towards me lately. I was like, am I putting some like crazy pheromones out there or something? Because the
That's the
stuff that
only
I've
reason why I
been
bust out laughing. I'm like, not
like,
Jabani.
I'm like, what the? Hold it, like.
Let's
Anyway,
not speak it. Let's not speak it into existence.
but it's already
That's
been
not true,
happening.
Jabani. It's not the weirdos that come for you. Nobody, no, it's not even like that. It's just out of the blue. Okay?
Oh my Lord.
It's not you. It's them.
Okay. Thank goodness it's them. Yeah,
Okay?
because you know how they'll blame you know what I was watching earlier about, and we're gonna get into the topic or whatever, but it was just funny how they was talking about this melanated young man who's a serial killer and stuff. And one of his victims that was gonna be, a hashtag and stuff, managed to get
Mm-hmm.
away. And make a long story short, she was a sex worker. He was going to pay her for sex, but the police were more concerned about the fact that she's a sex worker than her
Mm-hmm.
ass about to be a victim of another serial killer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So thank you for that confirmation that it's not me, that it's them. Because we
Okay.
want to get out of
I'm
this
not
whole
the
place.
police. I'm not the police. I would never dare blame it on you.
Well, what did you
Okay?
have on? What were you drinking? Who were you with?
Did you have eye makeup on? Did you wink? Okay.
Yeah. Did you lead him on to think that it was going to be something more and it wasn't? Anyway, let's see. We over here on a tangent. But
Mm-hmm.
so is it a red flag to have one woman as a friend? I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I'm sure that people that would look at this as a red flag probably have their own opinions. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's valid. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I know I myself, I'm more comfortable with having less friends. That I can call that title.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but that's just me. There's times when I'll like reflect and look at people that are like no longer in my life, or
Mm-hmm.
or people that I just really don't talk like that with no more. Before we get into
Mm-hmm.
that, let's grab this comment to see what Anonymous.
Hi.
Interesting.
I think
Hi.
it's a red flag if they are like an extroverted person, because like how are you around people
Mm.
so much and like people around people and you only got one friend? But if it's an introvert, then that's just consistency.
Wow. Yeah, I could say that is a red
I'm
flag
glad
to
I'm
have an
consistent.
extroverted friend. Yeah. And then
You
with
know, like, oh, she's just an introvert. It's not her.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
like Anonymous mentioned the extroverted friend. Yeah. I don't I mean I haven't recalled having like out there extroverted friends. But what I would think, right? Because I was kind of thinking about this, along with the subject today, when you're dealing with friends that go on girls' trips, right? And here's where I'm
Mm-hmm.
going with this. So, what if there's that friend that'll be egging you on, be like, oh, yeah, girl, go ahead and do that. Go, so what? Fuck your man. Go ahead and, it's just a one night stand. This is a girls' trip. We having fun. What goes on here stays here.
Mm-hmm.
What if that extroverted friend and that a situation that eggs you on to do stuff that is not in accordance to you know the universal laws, that if you do decide to step out on your man, that could be some serious karma there. Not could be, it will
Mm-hmm.
be some serious karma. And here she is telling you, oh, like, whatever, you could do what you want to do, we don't. And he's probably messing around with you too, but not knowing that that friend could be messing around with your man.
Mm. Well, she's on
Yeah.
a trip with me.
Yeah, but not at that moment messing around with your man, but oh, she could be setting up a situation where it's like, you know, she could be messing around with your man. Or
Well, it's definitely calculated. It's
yeah.
calculated
And
actions with
and
intent.
that yeah, you shouldn't even deal with people like that. But it's like that's kind of like one reason how you can spot that type of person if your
Mm-hmm.
eyes are open to see, okay, does this person, if I'm calling you my friend, do you have your best interest in mind? Would you
Mm-hmm.
what would you encourage me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you encourage me to kind of like, I have a man or whatever to step out, you know that's kind of dangerous. That's not a friend to have. Let's grab
Mm-hmm.
this comment.
Like even extroverted people, they have like I have a small group of friends, but it's still a group. It's still more than one. Like you have to have at least more than one to consider yourself an extrovert. Like something's wrong with you, or you lying.
Well, I was thinking, because I'm like, we were talking about it earlier. How do you have the energy for all those people? Like, you'd have to be an extrovert. You'd have to have the the willpower to tackle that many personalities and deal
Yeah,
with it.
I know
I
I
I
don't
I
have.
am I am drained by
For
my
real.
but the by the community I live with, let alone what happens outside of my doors. I don't know how people do it. Yeah.
I think, well, I know one thing's for sure, just going through the years and kind of learning myself and taking a deep look within myself, I realized I
Mhm.
don't have a lot of energy to deal with a lot of people. Like, even though I went to festival yesterday, like, I mean, before I went out there, I sprayed some Florida water on me.
Okay.
uh, I had on my crystals and stuff. So before
Mhm.
I put those crystals on again, I know I'm gonna run some sage through them and
Mhm.
everything. Sage and Palo Alto to kind of like cleanse those energies. But I know I don't have a lot of energy for a lot of friends. Like, I can literally
Mhm.
count on like a couple fingers on who I like consider. There's even some people that you may not even know they wasn't a friend until they like managed to slip away from you, or y'all
Yeah.
not cool like you used to be.
Mhm.
I know I had there was somebody that used to say stuff like, oh, why you hanging out with her? You hanging out with her because she's ugly or something, so you could feel better about yourself. I was like, what?
What?
Exact,
I've had those conversations before. in my
Yeah,
past, where
like
somebody would question why I'm hanging out with somebody. She's ugly.
I'm sorry,
What?
I wasn't
What does
looking at
that
this,
mean?
I wasn't looking at the situation like that. So,
Yeah,
those are
I'm like
like
my
little,
friend.
yeah, those are little questions that, you got to look out for people
Mhm.
that are like that have clearly have issues and they're not to be trusted, you
Mhm.
know. So, thinking that you're hanging out with somebody because of their looks, like, no, I never even looked at the situation like that. Just, we have stuff in common, I hang out at her house or
Mhm.
whatever, and we just chill and we go out sometimes, the mall and everything, Jamaica Avenue, that type of thing. But,
Yeah. This
I want,
conversation's bringing back a lot of memories. I'm like,
yeah,
that wasn't good. Yeah,
yeah,
like what
that's,
you just said, the ugly friend. Like, why are you hanging out with her? Or she. It's it. I get at the time you don't think too much about it, but then you think back now, you're like, dang, I'm glad I'm not friends with that person anymore. Because I hope
yeah.
they, what if they're still talking like that now? You
And that's a
know?
shame. And there's a lot of people that they probably like came to the level of high school and they
Mhm.
just didn't grow no more after that.
Yeah.
Like it's just insane. Like, and I remember there's a good quote about Muhammad Ali, right? So it's like he says, if you think the same way at 50 that you thought at 20, you have wasted 30 years of your life. And
Mhm.
that is just so true because I know that I know this person that I did consider like a friend. She's not in
Mhm.
the best of mental conditions now. And I think it's because a lot of it is because of the way how she viewed things or, certain things that she would lie about or
Mhm.
just situations that she would put herself in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But yeah, I remember in high school, ninth grade, I had acquired a group of friends that I thought
mm,
were really cool. They were nothing like me. I was quiet and stuff like that, and they were loud and
sort of
everything. And
like
we
the
used to
Heather.
go. No, not like
Oh,
that.
not
No,
creepy
not
like that. Okay, good.
not creepy like that. But we would always go to Woolworths. Remember Woolworths?
Oh,
And
shit,
yeah,
Woolworth.
yeah, we used to go to
Yeah.
Woolworth and look around. And one time, uh they put nail polish in my book bag, and I walked out the
What?
door, and the alarm went off, and they all like laughed at me and said, "Oh, I thought you were a good girl. Why are you stealing?" And I'm like, "But I'm not stealing. I don't even know how it got in my bag." And I found out that they put it in my bag,
Oh, that's
and I
grimy.
literally was like, good thing I'm a very, I think, like really hard and stuff. I overthought this when I was like, I don't think these people are my friends, because friends don't do mean stuff like that to me. Would do that to me. And my thoughts were so simple at that time, and I wouldn't want to make anybody feel this way, so I don't think they're my friends anymore. So I stopped talking to them.
Thank goodness.
And then they were upset with me because I stopped talking to them, and I'm like, you gotta really think hard on who's your friends, you know? So I thought that time I was like, all right, so I'm just gonna go through high school with very minimal amount of friends, which I did. I think I only had one friend throughout high school, maybe a couple, maybe two or more, but one that I really hung out with. So, but yeah,
That's Oh my gosh, that's grimy. That could have turned into a bad situation,
it
by
really
them
could have. But
putting.
luckily, I was in Stapleton, so
Oh yeah, yeah, good
so that
thing,
stuff
right?
happened a lot. And the person that stopped me knew me, and I came there with my parents all the time, so they knew I didn't do that. They just looked at me like, you need to check yourself around these people, and I was like, I'm picking up your vibes,
And
and I learned my
that's another
lesson.
thing.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful. That's beautiful when you do have outside people that will kind of like put a little bug in your ear, saying, "Hey, that's
Mhm.
not your friends." Like,
Mhm.
you'll even have boyfriends like that. They'll be like, look, that chick, she is not your friend. And
Mhm.
that's a blessing to have. Let's grab
Mhm.
this comment right here from Brendan.
No, that's a green flag. She's choosing quality over quantity.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking because, you know, I was listening to somebody talk about this on YouTube, and it was saying, you know, having it's a red flag if a woman has only one friend, and she was putting on her makeup and dolling herself up, and I'm not saying people who put up in their makeup and everything is a problem, but I feel like probably in her situation she ain't thinking about the quality of the way a person's thinking in their head, that she's thinking about who she's hanging out with and are they cute and stuff like that. I don't know. I didn't get the vibe that she cared about the intent of the person, that the people that she hung out with, that, you know, all the girls that she's with, and she has all these girlfriends that, you know, do what she want when she want, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
manipulative bitch, huh?
yeah, so I just thought that was a little weird that she would even like that means that she never experienced betrayal. She never you know, maybe she's the one that's doing the betraying, so she never experienced the betrayal or somebody talking behind her back, because for her to judge a woman because she only has one to none friends um was kind of unusual. Like, we all as females, we all experience some, you know, those experiences. So if we didn't experience it, then probably she's probably on the other end of the stick. That makes sense.
Mm,
Where she's
absolutely.
doing all the dirt that people are tolerating and saying maybe I shouldn't be friends with her anymore, or they're sticking with her because she's some big YouTuber.
Oh
So that's
God.
what I was thinking. I could be
Oh, well,
wrong.
speaking of like social media personalities, a good example of not having a good quality of friends is
Mhm.
that episode of Tranquilla Robinson. Well, not the episode, but
Mhm.
that event where, you know, here she went to pay for a trip for all her so-called friends,
Mhm.
and she didn't leave out of there alive.
Yeah, they murdered her. They
Yeah,
left her for dead. Yeah. So it's sad. It's
yeah,
scary. You know, you want I
it is.
really would like to have a lot of friends, a lot of acquaintances, people I can run to and talk to about stuff and everything like that. But I feel like after 10 it becomes redundant, like telling my life story repeatedly to 10 people, like, and you know what I mean, like scheduling my time for 10 people, going to each 10 people's house and stuff, and each 10 people have their own life stories and their own dramas, and I'm supposed to remember all that, and
And that's another thing
it just
too.
sounds like a lot.
That's
It
another
sounds
thing
like a
too.
lot.
You want to also be careful having friends that all they talk about is their drama, or they just always, you know, a sour puss, so to say.
Mhm.
You know, you
Mhm.
gotta. There's a lot of people like that out there like that. So, and I just don't
Yeah.
have the energy for that.
Well, you know, you like I said, you have that one or two, but when it gets to 20 and you're dealing with, like, think of Girlfriends. Remember that TV show?
Yeah, that was a good show.
Right? And everybody, like, it's always one that has the drama. There's always one that's too thinks she's too good for everybody. There's always one that is the really good friend and is available to everybody, and everybody takes advantage of her. There's always that one. And you don't know who you are in the relationship until it's severely pointed out, you know?
Yeah,
And in that show, everybody's flaws was pointed out, where there's always drama, or you're always thinking you're too good. And I don't think that's reality, because I think people don't say shit to nobody. They just let that shit slide all the time, and then they're in this long 20-year relationship with somebody who's been pissing them off for the past 20 years, and they realize they didn't want to be friends with them and stuff like that,
yeah, and
you know?
another reason why that whole show wasn't a reality. I mean,
Mhm.
it could have been a reality if, you know, you're dealing with people that can have intelligent conversations to air out, you know, whatever
Mhm.
challenges they may be facing in their relationship. But I said all that to say, you know, a lot of people are not accountable. Like, you know, a lot of people won't
Mhm.
own up to their bullshit. Like, if you
Mhm.
know you're wrong about something, you know, you got to admit that. And
Mhm.
not too many people want to do that. And I've definitely seen that trait in a lot of female friends. At least when I'm on the outside looking in at relationships, right? How
Mhm.
about this? Now you remember I'm gonna bring up Klepto Monique, right?
I already know who that is. Go on.
So Klepto
I
Monique,
remember.
this is, I should have known, she was gonna do this when I get to that, the climax of this, right?
Mhm.
So just one, she was working in this gift shop in the Holiday Inn, right? And there was just a
Yes.
point where she just kept stealing like these little crystal knickknacks or whatever little touristy stuff. And it's like, and mind you, in a given shift, she's the only one working there. And there
Mhm.
wasn't that many people that work there in that place. So you don't know if this person, they're counting inventory or the sales like before they leave or whatever. But
Mhm.
make a long story short, one day she got up early, was going to work, and she came back early. So like she got
Mhm.
fired. And then when our relationship, when she was like moving out or whatever, she ended up
Mhm.
stealing a lot of my clothes or whatever. Stole my suitcase and all this stuff. And
I remember
yes,
those days.
gotta be careful. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I've replaced everything, so it was funny. But I mean,
Mhm.
I never been the type that want to steal somebody's clothes, or steal anything from them because I could get it
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah,
But
I remember the conversation you had over the phone with her, and she was like,
yeah,
"Yeah, bitch, I stole your shit," and I was like, "Damn, that's fucked
yeah,
up."
she was. Yeah, and then she got
You
into
laugh at it now.
I laugh at it. Well, here's why. I mean, I don't laugh at it because of this, but this just goes to show
Mhm.
about karma. I mean, she got
Mhm.
into a bad car accident with a truck.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
karma.
Yeah.
I'm a karma. So let's grab this comment here.
I
Jesse.
think society sets us up with a lot of expectations to have like these friend groups, like the way it is on TV, like in Friends or Girlfriends or
Mhm.
any of those sitcoms that you would have watched about like 20 something or 30 something year old women back in
Girls.
the earlier 2000s. It's just kind of like it doesn't matter what it is, Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars, whatever. It's always like this like friend group. And I think that is a fictional narrative. Like everybody does not have friends like that, and that's perfectly okay, because honestly, when I meet people who do have a lot of friends, I'm looking at the quality of their characters and the
Mhm.
quality of the friendship. Like, are you
Exactly.
a real friend, or are you just a friend to go out with? Are you a real friend, like, who's gonna come through when I need something? Can I rely on you? Can I call you in the middle of the night?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
that even though there were definitely some nice good shows out there like Living Single. I mean, I didn't watch too much of Sex in the City. I didn't really care for that show, but that was another situation where it's like multiple, girlfriends chilling, you know dealing
Well,
with each other.
they had a small circle. It wasn't like
Yeah,
they.
but still,
Yeah,
I
it was
just
only
feel
the
that's
four of
still like
them.
a little bit too much friends. Only way I've seen like women hanging out a lot, like if they're like in a sorority, that's the only time that I see like when you're dealing with over 10 to like 20 friends all at one time and they be hanging
Mhm.
out. I don't know if I would want to be a part of that because I don't be wanting to hang out all the time. But let's grab this comment from Check Yourself times Miss Congeniality.
Hello,
Hi.
ladies. I don't think I've ever met you before. Jovani, Goins, Azima. Ooh,
Hi.
that's a beautiful name, Azima. Does that mean something in particular? Shout out to
Yes.
y'all. I am Check Yourself, aka Miss Congeniality. It's good to have y'all here. I don't know how new you guys are to stereo, but I know I've never met you before, so it's great to have you. Great to be able to sit in and listen for a minute. Is it a red flag for a woman to have one friend? Honestly, I think it's kind of a red flag for people to have no long-term friends, right? Like, don't nobody stick around, don't nobody fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? You would think that along your life, unless of course you're in the older generation, of course you have a lot of people who've passed away, things like that. But like at a certain, you would think that somebody has stuck around. So if it's somebody that you don't have no long term friends, I would definitely look at you sideways, just a little bit.
Well,
Okay. Well, she used the key word long term.
yeah.
But you know,
I
you
think
never know how long things are gonna last.
I think also with long term, people also gotta embrace growth as well. Because
Yeah.
we're all not going to be the same. So if you do, that is a blessing. If you do have a long term friend that has grown into themselves and they're not the same person that they was when you first
Mhm.
started to become friends,
Mhm.
because I know, like, just say me and you for example, right?
Mhm.
There's plenty times where we could go a long time without talking, and then we talk again, and it's like, oh, like it wasn't like it's we always been there. Um,
Mhm.
on the flip side, you also have those friends that will feel some type of way because you're not, calling them or answering their calls, or because sometimes people just need that time to themselves.
Mhm.
It's nothing personal. It's just I need my me time. And
Yeah.
so yeah, granted, if they're, everybody's going through their motions, they're growing, that is a good sign to have a long-term friend. But then there's those people out there who, you know for a long time, and then it's like, damn, everybody's getting away from you. Yeah, that maybe you're the problem there. Like,
Mhm.
you fall out with everybody. Like, that's not normal. So yeah, I could definitely
Yeah,
see
yeah.
where.
The fallout, they're extroverted, and there's always a fallout. I'm like,
Yeah.
but everybody likes you. Why do they hate you?
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely something to look out for. Let's grab
Yeah.
this other comment.
So for me, it's not so much having just a few friends because that just means that your discernment might be different. You know, maybe you don't trust easily, and that's totally okay. But having just one friend at a time, one short-term friend at a time, to me, is going to raise my brow.
Yeah. Okay, so I met this lady who was like, "Oh, you want to hang out with me and my friend?" And I was like, "Sure." And I said, "How long you been friends?" "Oh, we just met each other like a week ago." And I'm like, "You're
Oh
calling
God.
her a friend? You don't even know
Already?
her." But then, like I said, that's like a man or woman who like meets somebody and they fall in love immediately, and you're like, but how long y'all known each other? Like, has it been 6 months? No, we just met yesterday. I'm in love, and I'm like, that don't sound right. There's something wrong with this. Like, you can't just fall in love with somebody, whether it's friendship or you know, a actual relationship. It's just weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be that chummy too quick with anybody else. Yes, I would say that I'm not
They're
easily
like
trusted.
sharing shit and
Oh
buying
no,
stuff for
I
each
tell you about
other.
sharing shit. I remember I let somebody wear my Carhartt jeans, and this was a chick that her mom didn't buy her pants and stuff, and her mom ended up finding my jeans, and I was never able to get it back. So no, I'm not into that whole sharing of clothes anymore. I learned that long, and I'm just grateful for the size that I am. you know, that when I start making my own little stuff for me, then I really don't have to worry about anybody wanting to share my stuff because they're going to be made tailor made for me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's grab this comment from Miss Congeniality.
And I agree because you do sometimes grow out of your friends. But if you didn't grow out of your friends and into new friends, or if you know what I'm saying, there was nobody who was able or willing to grow with you, to me, it might speak to a little bit of a character flaw. Like, are you the friend who's just going to up and jump ship easily? Are you the type of person who, you know, are able to kind of, because our lives go in these roller coasters, right? And so a lot of the friends that I have kind of match me in personality. So, well, not in personality, but in our character, to where it's like, if I choose you, I chose you for real, right? And of course, everybody's not like that, but are you the holier than thou where the people around you can't make any mistakes, and you know what I'm saying? You're not able to understand.
Let's see. Let's grab this.
Oh, to understand when people aren't 100% perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
it's just little stuff like that, like how, because I don't want my friends to expect me to be perfect, because I don't expect my friends to be perfect, right? But I do expect you to give me grace, just as I am going to give you grace. Because a person who, what's the phrase, a person throwing stones in a glass house or some shit like that? Like, if you're so busy judging, was it about you that's so perfect where everybody around you isn't worthy? Nobody's worthy to understand you enough or to love you through. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm articulating this wrong, but I hope this makes sense. My husband playing the game in the background, so that's him with the random blurt outs.
No,
Yeah,
that definitely
I
makes
completely
sense.
understand. Yeah.
Like, the friend that I spoke about earlier, as far as what point did I bring up about her? I told anyway. Oh yeah, the one that would be like, oh, why you hanging out with her? You hanging out with her because she's ugly or something like that. So with her, I would just be like in my own little zone, and she would point out like, she would be talking to somebody else and then using me as an example and stuff, and I'm like, why are you bringing me up when I'm not even like thinking about y'all or. So
Mhm.
that's another thing to be careful about, like a friend. You, when Miss Congeniality said to have grace with one another, right? But then if you
Yeah.
have like that friend that's like kind of always pointing out your flaws, or kind of like talking about you like you're not there,
Mhm.
those are red flags. I'll
I
definitely
I
say.
honestly, for friendship, all I'm looking for is somebody who has patience with me. I am not quick to do a lot of things. I'm just not the normal person when it comes to, following through. I don't know why. I grew up in a household that told me friendships are not important. Family is important. Like I don't know if my dad used that as a sense of control to keep me in the house, which I did. You know what I mean? So I those are things that I try to get out of my head when I experience somebody. I try to just experience them and see how they make me feel, and if I can do the same thing and reciprocate. But it's very hard for me to build friendships, and then, my experiences as a kid, it just made it worse, because it's like I always heard what my dad said, blood is
Mhm.
thicker than water, and friendships are not, blah, this and that. And he had his own experiences and I witnessed them. So, it, it, his words rung in my ear every time I had a bad experience with a friend or somebody I called a friend. But, yeah, grace and patience and understanding that somebody's a human being and they have flaws is something that I think is very necessary when you're trying to build a relationship and friendship,
Yeah.
because you don't know what somebody's been through. And I'm a complete introvert. I don't know if I have any extrovert in my body. The only time I do it is when I'm doing any TikTok videos. You're like, oh, she looks cool. I'm like, yeah, on TikTok, on my
Yeah.
videos. But in real life, I'm in my house all the time, and it takes a lot for me to get out of my house. And the only reason why I leave is because I'm going to a job to get paid, and then I come the fuck back home. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's just there's reasons behind people's behaviors, and I think people need to focus on trying to understand that before making any quick judgment.
Yeah, it's a shame you got to be that way. And just on the note of your father talking about family is important, like he's telling you that in this Western American society about family being important, when
Exactly.
time after time they have did things,
To feel you.
made laws to break the whole family structure. So he was kind of,
Hmm.
he gave you
He was talking as a Nigerian. He wasn't talking as
yeah.
an American in America and how things work over here. You know, there's a system back home. There's a system there where you have a village where there's no village over here. So your kids are
Used
going
to
towards
be.
friendships. Yeah,
Used to be a village. Be nice to get
well, it
back to
used to
that.
be. It would be nice, but
Yeah. Let's grab this comment.
Hey guys, like, what are we gonna talk about today? Like, I have this one story time with my mom and my dad. They cheat on her, but my mom didn't know my daddy was cheating on her, and my dad didn't know that my mom.
Okay. I'm not gonna play that whole comment. Yeah, if it's
I'm sorry, I
it
didn't
sound
understand what you said.
it sounds like she sucked on a helium balloon before she come in here, just being foolish. I
I'm
was
trying to
reading
be
through
a
the
grown up about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Not
be a grown up. I was reading.
mashallah.
You know how like sometimes they give you the transcript. When I was reading it, I was like, this is nothing of value to the show, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop this right here. Anyway,
Okay.
so I have also came up with a way on how you can kind of test to see if this friend is good for you. Y'all ready for this?
I want to hear
So
it.
here's the is this your friend test? And it's as follows. Put on something crazy or look crazy in some way, whether it be like you didn't put your eyelash on properly, or you put on foundation that was too light for your skin or too dark for your skin, or wear something crazy looking. And then ask your friend, how do I look?
Mm-hmm. I say
And
just don't zip up your fly and see if they notice.
that too. That could be step two right there. So I just have one step. And then yes, step two, don't pull your zipper up to see if they'll say something. So
Okay.
look crazy, and if your friend does not tell you, your so-called friend does not tell you the truth, that is not your friend. If she lets you go
Mm-hmm.
outside looking crazy, she's clearly a vindictive friend, and it gives her
Great joy to see
pleasure,
you look like trash.
joy to see you look like trash. That is not a friend. And then number two, we didn't come with a lot of lists, with a lot of this, but then number two is have your fly down to see if she will say something.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know that was on your list.
No. That was you just that was a good one. That wasn't on my
Okay.
list. I just had the number one way to pretty much vet your friends or so-called friends.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
grab this comment.
Oh, you guys, a little stereo tea. We have to be on high alert right now because Stereo is advertising a lot on TikTok and it's bringing a lot of child users on here. They're
Oh,
supposed to
really?
be on a whole nother side of Stereo for ages 13 to 17. Some of these children are lying about their age and they're trolling all of the rooms. So you have to be vigilant on that. What we're doing is we're just blocking them all. You're going to get a lot of these troll ass comments from children because a lot of them are coming from TikTok. Just block them. Hopefully Stereo will get this fixed soon, but it's like, it's a lot right now. Block them, report them too. Report them as underage or report them
Okay.
as harassment or bullying or something. We have to get them off this side of the app. They need to go their ass to the other side where they can talk to
They go to
people
the
like-minded
multi-ball.
and in their age group where they belong.
Okay.
Oh man, yes, definitely will do that. That's gonna be interesting too, because then there's gonna be some adults that's gonna act like their children and go over there too, and why did
Mm,
they decide to do that?
I don't know. Anyways,
What do kids
but
need a stereo? What does that age group need to be on stereo for?
yeah, they got something to say. Everybody's got something to say. They want to talk about their mommy and their daddy and stuff in their high pitched voice. This, uh, this is the place to do it, I guess.
Oh God.
Hmm.
Okay, well, thanks for that tidbit there. It's truly
I
grateful for
appreciate
that.
that because that was weird
I was
and a
just
little
like, that's
scary.
so cringy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is the purpose of this? Like, why?
Okay.
Get a life. Well, they may be coming up with, well, I guess,
Well, they're
but
just creating life. They're just starting out. Their life is just starting.
uh, that was too much for me. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, female friends, back to that, if they are having one as a red flag. So yeah, I
Oh,
pretty
I'm
much,
gonna, I'm gonna just tell you, those girls that I was hanging out with in ninth grade, that was like 7 girls. I walked in like literally a clique of girls, 7 of them. So that was a lot. A lot of
hmm,
girls to be hanging out with at one time, at once, on a daily basis, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, probably like in 10th grade, I was in like a clique, but
Mhm.
that was like mostly people like a part of the clique was like cousins were in the clique of each other, so it was like
Mhm.
it was
Yeah, I didn't
cool.
have that
Only reason
luxury.
why we wasn't doing the clique thing anymore because two of them moved away. So
Yeah, that's.
yeah, and then another thing I know me personally when I like hung out with like friends, I hung out with a lot of guy friends, and they never. I don't think they looked at me like a female friend. If I don't know if that makes
You'd be
sense.
surprised. I
What?
know it
Okay, so
makes sense, but you'd be surprised.
yeah, I mean, it's not like they ever like tried to come on to me or said any like sly stuff. Like what
Mhm.
guys would say if they're interested. But it's like I felt like they just looked at me as one of the homies or homeboys and stuff because it was like none of that.
Well, I had an experience where I had a friend in high school that was a guy, and I had no clue that he liked me. And from what I understand, from what my dad told me, he used to stop by the house a lot to see if I was there, and I wasn't. And found out that he liked me, and it was too late because I think I was about to marry my husband by that time. So it'd have been nice if he had just told me, but I thought we were just friends. And honestly thought really not really that many guys liked me in high school. So
Oh,
I didn't really date anybody in high school because I didn't think anybody was attracted to me. So that was just the way it was. I was like, all right, well, I just go somewhere else and find somebody. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. You
I,
gotta
I didn't
speak
know.
up, people. Can't be be
So,
that. Yeah. That's why I don't trust guys that I come across and be like, oh, I just want to be a friend. No,
there's no such
no.
thing.
Yeah. At this age, yeah. Let's grab
Hmm.
this comment.
Well, I've been around for a while, so I kind of know who's who on these streets or whatever. I don't know
Hmm.
how familiar you guys are with people all over stereo, but what I've been noticing is the children kind of look like Carol Benson, barely decorated, still got on a gray t-shirt. Click on their profile; they only got like 3
Hi,
followers.
Carol.
Sometimes if you click on their soundbite, you can hear them talk. In their soundbite replies, you can hear that they're only a child, or they'll be on them rate me's. So just, if you see somebody and they don't have a whole lot of followers, even no hair on their face, or they're just dressed ridiculous, those are
Hmm.
usually the ones who's going to come through and troll your rooms. Or sometimes they won't start the message. They'll leave like a bunch of blank space in the front of your message. So if you see those lines are really short in the beginning, sometimes it's those children because they don't want to let you hear them in the first couple of seconds. They wait for a little bit.
Wow.
Oh,
Them children
wow.
gotta go. They're a
Definitely
menace.
a lot of game here. Love it. Thank
Mm-mm.
you. It's congeniality. I'll definitely be looking out for that because they are like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long this been going on from
It
them
must have happened
advertising on
within the
TikTok.
past 2 weeks.
Yeah, probably because I think that's about the time being getting some peculiar messages. I guess like by crazy dude earlier talk about I want to suck on your toes and stuff. Definitely was
Hmm.
not expecting that comment, but
Yeah, that was unusual.
that was
That was the
weird.
first. That was the
Yeah.
first, including that voice from that girl. That was the first time hearing that. And
Oh,
now
that's
21 episodes.
oh man, could you imagine as episodes go on, the amount of crazy stuff we'll encounter?
Hmm.
Yeah.
The best is yet to come. Yep.
Mm-mm. Yeah, let's go this comment.
And Carol, you haven't said anything. I'm sorry if that was a mistake, if you're not actually a child, but
She isn't. She isn't a
if
child.
you're not a child, baby, please put on some clothes. Please get out that gray shirt, honey. I can't have you out here like that. But no, that's what they look like. They look like people who really just got on the app. Or they don't have a
Okay.
whole lot of followers.
Okay.
Or they don't follow anybody.
Yeah,
Okay, I do.
Carol, you're gonna have to put on a chain, some Cuban
Yeah,
links, some
yeah,
earrings,
that's funny.
a
Like,
scarf,
that's
so we
hilarious.
could be less discerning. We know it's
I,
you, Carol. At least I know it's you, Carol. Don't worry.
Yes. Well, good thing
Yeah,
is we
but
know Carol.
yeah, that's the good thing. That's the good thing.
That's
We
a
know
good thing.
Carol.
But now anybody else that come in that, just looks with the gray shirt and then that's it, like they didn't make no changes, I'll definitely look out for that and definitely start blocking people and stuff because I don't like look. It's bad enough we deal with that stuff on Facebook, then
Yeah.
IG. Oh, and then let's not even get into TikTok and the craziness. I heard got a DM. So I want to be a sugar daddy. I'll pay you $7,000 a month for a week or a week, however you want it, just for some
Mm-hmm.
conversation. I don't care if you have a husband, children, or boyfriend or anything.
I'm
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Like, yeah. So what
Yeah.
are you, a sex trafficker or an organ trafficker?
Yeah, that usually
But
stops them from talking.
and yeah, he didn't answer it after that. So that was a good thing that conversation has stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who the heck pays somebody 7,000 a month for a week just for some conversation?
Yeah, you gotta be pretty desperate. Yeah. You gotta have
Pretty
faith that
desperate, or
things will work out so you
you
don't
got
fall
some
into
bad
those traps.
sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Got some bad things brewing up your sleeves.
Yep.
So yes, the friends. How many of us have them? But yeah, I mean, for me now, I just prefer to have a smaller circle of friends. I don't, just when I know you can't base stuff on what people say on social media because I know social media is not real, but
Mm-hmm.
there is some type of just concerns that it's like, would I want to be friends with a female like that who thinks this way? And yeah, it's I want to keep to myself, only
Mm-hmm.
allow a certain amount of people in my life because I know people that can be draining. There's some people who literally get themselves in situations that's not necessary. um, I find that, I'm working on myself more, so I don't pay too much to like the lower chakras as much. There's definitely a work in progress, of course, but I'm more
Yeah.
focused
Every
on,
day.
my heart area, my throat area, and how I deliver things, and then what's on my head or what I see in my eyes or anything. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, because I focus on that, I see things in people that I'm like, okay, I don't want to deal with that person.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
don't
just
want to
watch
deal.
people.
Yeah, if you're a litter bug, if you throw litter on the ground, I can't be your friend. That's the problem for me if I see you as a litter bug. If I see you blatantly throwing paper on the ground, throwing a bottle on the ground, and not putting it in a trash can, you can't be my friend at
Well,
all.
the thing is, the last thing you want to do is be telling somebody how they're supposed to be. Like, I'm not here to tell you who you're supposed to
Right.
be.
If you,
So I'm not.
exactly.
I'm just not going to put myself in that situation. If I have to open my mouth to say something on that level of you shouldn't be doing that, you know, I'm not gonna, waste my time. And I think, I like people who self-examine. Like, they'll
Yes.
communicate with you and they'll say, you know what, I realized I did this and I think I'm going to change this and I'm going to be better at this. And I can handle those conversations because it's progress. I see you're progressing, you're growing, and you want to be better. And I want you to be better. And I don't want you to feel hurt inside and struggle and anything like that. I don't want to be friends with somebody who's repeatedly hurting themselves. I want to see that you're learning. So, I'm not seeing you hurt yourself. No one wants to witness a downward spiral. And when you
Mm-hmm.
see it, you want to be able to help, but it, it's it's draining to to have to tell somebody they're going through this repeatedly over and over again, and it
Mm-hmm.
makes you look like the bad guy because you're pointing those things out. Well, why are you always pointing out my flaws? And I'm like, I don't want to. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to open your eyes. So if I have to do that to you all the time, not that I don't care, but I got to protect me first, and you should know I got to protect me. And the way you protect me is by protecting yourself, taking care of yourself, and doing what's right for you, growing and stuff like that. It just makes me more comfortable around you because I know we're good together. We're gonna survive, you know, and you're not gonna drag me down with you to the black hole, the abyss. And I know people have those experiences, you know, where they're going through so much trauma and stuff like that. But I I can't go down there with you as a friend. And I need people to understand that. Like I spent so many years protecting myself from trauma and, you know, redoing the same mistakes. And I did that for when I come across somebody, they don't experience my traumas. They know I grew past it, that I care about people and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of people aren't trying to fix themselves or acknowledge a trauma that is going on in their life. And I can't fix it for you, but you got to be able to fix it, because I don't want to be the one pointing out your faults, you know, and I know it's not your fault, but I don't want to be the one pointing it out all the time, because then I just look like the bad guy, you know. That makes sense
Well,
what I'm saying?
absolutely. You know, self-examining yourself, that's a very sexy trait. And everyone, I mean, I would love for everyone to do it. I ain't saying that everyone should do it, but if you want to kind of like have a happier life, that self-evaluating is definitely important. I could think about a
Mm-hmm.
time when I was like self-evaluating, because you know I worked from home for like, you know, going on 7 years now. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, when I used to take calls, like setting up like roadside assistance calls, I don't do that no more. Um, but when I would do that, and I would hear how I would deliver a message to like a customer or something, I'll say to my after I get off that call, I'll say to myself, you know, oh, I could have probably done it this way. I probably shouldn't have said it this way. And
Mm-hmm.
the great thing about that, and because your calls are evaluated with this criteria, you know, either on a weekly basis or the client can listen to your call randomly. And
Mm-hmm.
that really just carried over into my life, where
Mm-hmm.
if I can't deal with people that's not willing to do that, because I'm not going to point out people's flaws unless they ask.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or I've learned to deliver my message a certain way so it doesn't appear that I'm coming from a space of hate, but it coming from a place of love. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, you know, I really like this about you. You know, I appreciate you asking me this. If you feel like, how does this make you feel having
Mm-hmm.
that thought? You know, like it's just like I'll use the clothes examples. When somebody would be like, oh, how does this look on me? I'm like, how does it make you feel?
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't make you feel like up to par, or you know, feel sexy, or whatever
Comfortable.
feeling that you're comfortable, then
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's not a good thing to wear. I won't be like, okay, oh no, girl, that's, you know, you don't want to wear that, that don't
Yeah.
look good on you. And then, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just like, hey, how does it make you feel? Like, you know, do
Like
you feel?
there's people who are like, "Oh, I'm honest. I keep it 100."
No,
Right?
no, you had no.
And I feel like those people who say stuff like that, they're I don't know if they're like safe to communicate with, because I feel like they're just saying whatever pops to their head. They're not then which I you know it's a good, I want to say it's a good thing, because they're not
Overactive throat
communicating
chakra.
well. Yeah. And it could be destructive, you
Yeah.
know, destructive with, you know, how people feel and stuff like that. And so that concerns me too, people who do that, you know, because you're talking about being careful with your words. And it's not like you're stepping on glass. It's just that you're speaking to a human being. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you have to if you're any good of a friend, you're gonna know what kind of friend you're dealing with. So some friends that can hear harsher words, and there's some friends that you don't want to say something and they'll take it the wrong way. So you gotta know who you're dealing with. That's a friend. If you know who you're dealing with, you're gonna talk to them the best way you know how, and know that they understand that you're not trying to crush them or hurt their feelings or be mean or anything like that. So, and I think some people don't care about your feelings and they just say whatever the fuck pops to their head and then wonder why I'm not picking up the phone call no more.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
with that
I was just
self-evaluating.
being real. I'm like,
No,
well,
well, see, you also gotta, not, you don't have to, but if you really truly want somebody to learn, from a lesson from you, you gotta appeal to how somebody learns. Now, not everybody learns the same way. Not everybody has the same type of personality, you know? So
yeah, exactly. So
definitely
I
makes
think
sense.
understanding that, just knowing who you're dealing with, especially if you have multiple friends, you can't respond to everybody the same way. That's like working at a job. You have a different voice with everybody that you talk to. There's some people you can curse around. There's some people that,
Oh my God, I can't
you
believe you
know,
said that.
yeah, there's just different people around, and you gotta acknowledge their being, who they are, appreciate that, and take care of that, and they'll do the same for you because they know that you're not like that with everybody, but they'll do it for you because you do it for them. And that's somebody who cares. It's like talking to a child. You can be honest with a child, but speak at their level of understanding. And it's just this, the same thing. You're talking to different people. You can't talk the way you talk to a grown up to a child, and you can't talk to a grown up like a child because that'll piss them the fuck off. And everybody deserves you know some, like, check yourself, what she said, they deserve grace.
Yes, I would agree with
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. It is 9:01. Shout
Yay.
out to daylight savings time. We had lost the hour, but hey, at least we're an hour closer to summertime.
Yes, I look forward
But
to it. Spring, at
yeah,
least.
yes, I'm thinking summer, but definitely spring.
Probably going to be an immediate summer, being that we're dealing with all this weird weather. This is going to get hot
Yeah.
real quick.
Oh
Hmm.
yes, I can't wait. Definitely loving the days where I'm gonna be out in the sun. So
Yeah,
we are wrapping
exciting.
up this episode 21
Hmm.
about if it's a red flag for a woman to have one friend. Let's grab this comment first, and then we will close
You guys, I've enjoyed myself around here. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna hit y'all with that follow. Hopefully, I can get one back.
Yes,
I'm
you
gonna go
will.
ahead and slide, but I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far, and I will see you all around.
All right, have a good
Yes,
night.
thank you. Yeah,
Have a good
definitely will
night.
follow back. Absolutely.
All right.
So yeah,
Thank
Azima,
you all for stopping by.
where can everyone find you?
You can find me again. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok as Azima the Only. That's Azima the Only. And you can find me on Facebook and YouTube as Ozidi Wellness and Fitness. As Ozidi Wellness and Fitness. And where can we find you?
So yes, that is TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, same handle at Camp Jogo Fit. That's KampJogofit. And also subscribe to our Wine Fine podcast channel on YouTube so that eventually
Yes.
we'll go live directly from there, and hopefully
Mm-hmm.
we can kind of have a blanket from these new children that's going to be coming up on this app here.
Yeah, you can find our new older episodes there as well.
Absolutely. Let's grab this comment real quick from Zone X. We'll zone
The
out.
only thing y'all need to get prepared for, what y'all need to be getting ready for, is y'all judgment. That's it.
All right.
All
That
right.
was
Well,
nice.
have a good
Y'all
night.
have a good, on that note, have a good night, people.
Thank you.
See y'all next week. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.